What if humanity abandoned Earth forever and settled on Mars for good? Imagine not just a few years, but hundreds of thousands of years of evolution in the harshest environment humans have ever faced. The most stunning 3D simulations ever created predict a mind-blowing future. Bigger eyes, weaker bones, glowing red skin, and body changes so extreme we'd practically become a new species. This is the ultimate what happens next breakdown, where biology crashes into astronomy. Today, we're diving deep into exactly how your body would transform, generation after generation, on the red planet. Buckle up, because what's coming will leave you speechless. First, let's grasp just how different Mars really is from Earth. Gravity is only 38% of ours, meaning every step feels like gliding on the moon. Sunlight is 50% weaker, the atmosphere so thin it's basically a vacuum. Global dust storms can rage for months, and cosmic radiation hits hundreds of times harder than on Earth. No magnetic field, no ozone layer, average temperature minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. This isn't a place to live, it's a place to evolve or die. The first generation, the original settlers, won't change genetically right away, but their bodies will start adapting physiologically within months. Astronauts on the International Space Station have already given us priceless data. After just 6 months in space, bones lose 1 to 2% density every single month in the hips and spine. Muscles shrink because they don't need to fight strong gravity. Hearts grow weaker since they no longer pump blood against full Earth gravity. On Mars, this wouldn't be temporary. It would last lifetimes, then pass to children. By the second generation, kids born on Mars, everything starts shifting for real. Low gravity means bones never need to be strong to carry weight. Harvard University simulations show Martian-born children could grow 8–12 inches taller than their Earth-born parents. But don't celebrate yet. Those bones would be fragile as glass. A simple trip could shatter a femur. Scientists call it Martian bone syndrome, severe osteoporosis starting in the womb. The body would dial down bone-building cells and crank up bone-destroying ones. Result, a race of giants who break like twigs. Now, the eyes, easily the creepiest change. Sunlight on Mars is dim, orange-red, and brutal with unfiltered UV. The thin atmosphere barely blocks deadly rays. Outcome: babies born on Mars would evolve much larger eyes to gather more light. 3D simulations from the University of Cologne predict that after just 10 generations, pupil diameter could increase by 50%. Eyeballs would bulge outward like nocturnal cats on Earth. But the price? A 10-fold higher risk of cataracts from UV damage. And because Martian dust contains natural peroxide, a bleaching chemical, eyelids would thicken dramatically. A third protective membrane would evolve, like hawks on Earth. Imagine your descendants blinking 3 times in a row to shield massive eyes from raging red dust storms. Skin, from pink and pale to fiery crimson forever. Earth's skin evolved to soak up vitamin D from strong sunlight. Mars throws a deadly paradox: weak light but intense UV. The body would ramp up black melanin to block UV, while boosting red hemoglobin to grab every photon possible. After 20 generations, permanent red-orange skin, brighter than any Native American war paint. NASA models show skin thickening 3 times over, packed with iron oxide crystals, exactly what makes Mars red. In other words, our descendants would wear the color of their new mother planet. The circulatory system would rewrite itself completely. On Earth, the heart pumps blood upward against 1 g gravity. On Mars, only 0.38 g, so the heart gets lazy. After a few generations, hearts shrink 25%, blood pressure plummets. If a Martian ever returned to Earth, they'd collapse instantly, heart too weak to push blood to the brain. Blood would also thicken for better oxygen carry in thin air. Scientists predict red blood cells evolving into sickle shapes, like sickle cell anemia on Earth. But this time, it's a survival advantage. Immune systems, a ticking time bomb. Martian air contains perchlorates, thyroid-killing poison. Earth germs can't survive there, meaning kids grow up in near-sterile bubbles. Immune systems never get trained and become pathetically weak. One stray Earth virus could wipe out entire colonies. To survive, evolution would crank immunity to hypersensitive levels. Result? Brand new autoimmune diseases, allergic to literally everything, even Earth air. Reproduction, the biggest gamble of all. Sperm in high radiation suffers massive DNA damage, eggs too. Birth defect rates could hit 40% in early generations. But evolution is merciless. Only babies with mutations that repair DNA faster would survive. After 50 generations, Martian humans might carry super repair genes, cancer resistance thousands of times better than ours. The cost? They could no longer breed with Earth humans. Genetic gap too wide, we'd become two separate species. And here's the jaw-dropping truth almost no one talks about. Stanford's million-year simulations reveal that after 100,000 years, Martian humans evolve into something totally alien. They stand 8 feet tall, weigh barely 90 pounds, skin glowing faint red in darkness thanks to specialized hemoglobin, eyes the size of CDs, seeing straight through dust storms, bones light as balsa wood yet reinforced with natural carbon nanotubes grown inside the body, brains 15% larger, wired for 3D thinking and low gravity. They would no longer be Homo sapiens. Proposed scientific name, Homo Martianus, the true Martians. But the most terrifying part? Imagine one day, after 200,000 years of silence, an Earth ship finally lands again. The towering red-skinned giants with saucer eyes would stare at us like we're gorillas. They'd speak a language from evolved voice. Boxes we can't replicate. They'd wonder why we're so short, heavy, and fragile. And they'd ask, "You came from the blue planet. Were you really our ancestors?" That's the true price of conquering Mars. We might survive. We might adapt. But we would no longer be human. The children of Earth would become the natives of Mars, and they would look at us the way we once looked at Neanderthals, with pity, curiosity, and zero recognition. We wanted to colonize the red planet. Instead, the red planet colonizes us. And in the end, Mars doesn't turn us red. It turns us into Martians.